So let's analyze the financial situation of one of the Reddit users. Um, his name is Hopeful Patient. Very nice, nice username. So I will let you read this by yourself. A 19-year-old working very hard, making quite impressive amount of money for that age, and have a certain expenses, and want to know what the situation looks like. So let's go and model this. So I'm gonna, as a first try, just try to use this text, which is a very funny way of writing these. But we'll give this to our Flow GPT to see if we can understand the content. There's a bit of wait for the text to be processed. Okay, we have a canvas like that. Now let's check based on the information. So income, they mentioned 1,300 per week. So we just multiply it by 4. But I mean, there is they themselves in the post, they say maybe 4,000 after the thing after the taxes. So let's just put 4,000 for the sake of simplicity, as he himself assumes, per month. Now he didn't mention how much cash he has right now. Imagine 3,000. And now we have different stories. So one is around car. So he mentions that car insurance is $400. So that's correctly inputted. The car payment itself 500. So he puts. So we can see that this one is using it as a loan, as a debt component. So we have 5,000 as a debt. I think this is the car is his parents, so I assume they charge interest. Let's assume that, and then he actually puts in. You can see that the debt is dropping, but over the very long period of time, or maybe assuming that was a very small amount of payment. So imagine if he wants to pay it in 2 years, then we're talking about $200 to pay it off. Maybe 1 year. I think that's more reasonable. 420. He says he's putting $500. So let's put 500 here into that transactions per month, and that will push the car payments very quickly to 0. With that in mind, we don't need the car payment as an expense. It's a loan payment coming out of the cash. Now we'll delete this. Spending. He mentioned he has around. He has car insurance. He has phone. So we'll put this as a phone. What other things he has? Let's call it on phone. The phone was 140. So what expenses are 400, 140, food is 200, and then he has it IRAs. So we didn't capture the IRAs, so we're gonna add an stock option here. That's his assets, stocks, IRA account, and we add a transaction here. And he says he contribute to it. How much contribution? 1,000. Save 2,000. Yes, plus $12. Yeah. Let's assume $2,000. So we have $2,000 here that goes to investment. Amazing, good work. We can see that even he has still cash flow there. So we may want to increase another spending because he says he's going to go to 0. We're going to go expense. Let's call it other category. We're going to expand that. So he can change the model as much as you want, the amount of the expense you have. Here we see the cash goes to 0, so I'm not sure if it's not maybe 500. And now we look at the cash. Yeah, that looks like a reasonable number. So now the cash is increasing every month. 9. So we can see, yeah, a few hundred a month, and still increasing because it assumes the income is growing and all that. Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned here is the impact of inflation. So I'm adding future inflation is let's call it 7% for the next 5 years, and then 3% for the rest of the years. Let's assume that as well, and then we can kind of see better what the situation is. You can see that with this inflation rate, he's going to save a lot in 15 years, $261,000. But probably with that inflation increasing with this rate, he's of course his income is also increasing. So this is our current inflation. With that in mind, our rate of increase is a bit lower, 600,000 over the 50 years. Okay, so this is your situation at this stage, and now you can ask questions. So what does he wants to do? In the comments, he mentions that he likes to buy a car, buy a house, pay for the down payment. So we can go in 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2028, same time frame, and in April 2028, he's gonna have $47,000 in his deposit with this rate that he's saving, and at that time he also has 240K saved. Sorry, one thing we forgot is that at the beginning he's not gonna have $120,000 here, so he's maybe starting from zero at this age, which makes it more reasonable. Then in 5 years, his investment portfolio going to be 122K in IRA, and his cash $48,000. If you want to buy a house, you want to consider contributing less to your IRA, put it into some sort of cash saving account to be able to capture for changing it in for a home down the road, which you can easily add. So I will leave it to this point, and let me know what you think.